It's Friday, May 27th. Happy birthday, brother. He doesn't watch my videos. I mean, I send him a message. Usually pretty short, sweet, with birthday messages. I used to go all out in more words for people, but that took a lot of energy. So I was like, no mo. Let's see. Had a dream, but I didn't sit with it. It didn't sit with it. Mostly because I tried to stay up to do work, and that didn't happen because I was really tired after that walk. And I ended up falling asleep with the light on again. Had the heater on because it was cold. But I woke up early. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I responded to, I don't know if I mentioned that, I responded to the fire sign, this new fire sign. I don't remember if I said that. I think I did. Or maybe not. I responded. Yeah, I think I did, right? Responded. But I realized I didn't. So, in his response back, he put, like, just give me a holler. So I was like, does that mean a hi? Or does that mean, like, do you want to hang out? And there was a part of me that was just like, do I really want to hang out with this? You know, it's Friday. I'm really not pressed for time. Oh, yeah, I have things I need to do between now and when I leave. And then he's leaving apparently, but I don't know when. He didn't share that in his message. So I'm not going to move my schedule around to try to squeeze him in. I'm just not. So I didn't propose to meet. I didn't say anything about meeting up actually. So then I thought about it. I'm like, oh, maybe I should put something out there. Like, and I did. I this morning I was like, you know what? Let me know when you're back from your trip. Cause I don't even know when he's going. Let me know when you're back. Maybe time will look different when you get back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I kept thinking about that. I'm like, I don't have to try. Even MJ's message this morning, like, you know, lately they've been resonating. It's funny because in the videos that are posting, I'm like, they don't resonate anymore. And the thing is, I've been realizing a lot actually with tarot. It's so funny because of the people that I follow. When I'm experiencing an emotion, and they're doing the energy, they're doing the tarot, like, you know, depending on, because I go to specific people. So in essence, my energy's there. It's already there because I'm giving energy to looking at it. So I'm part of that collective for that individual reader. And it's interesting because when something happens, I've been noticing it. And this is why, right? This is the reason why we don't hold on to potential energy, because it can always change. And how you emotionally feel with an experience, it's like a ripple effect, right? It gives off this vibration that lingers. and it just really depends on your awareness of it, and whether or not you shift, right? Depending on the advice or recommendation that is given from the reader. And again, this is a collective reading, so it's not like it's specifically to you unless the storyline makes sense for you. And so what I noticed was that when I was having lately, because there's been moments of like intense emotional experiences, right? With, you know, coming back from my birthday, and then the situation with this guy, and just with work, right? This element of like, I'm not putting myself out there enough, really, because I didn't have the time to. And now that school's out, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's shift. So confidence, right? We're talking, which is funny because a lot of the videos that are going to come up is about confidence, self-confidence. and my self-worth. And so it's funny because I've been tracking it, and my emotional response will then impact the reading, of course, right? Because there's a group of us. And so the titles make sense for me. I'm like, I just experienced that yesterday, but it's funny because this is supposedly the reading for the following week, right? And I listen to my 3 signs, which is Libra, Leo, and Gemini, right? Sun, I don't do moon as much, but my moon is my sun, so there you go. No, it's not. My moon is Capricorn. That one hardly ever really resonates, I noticed. It does during a particular season. And sometimes I'll look at it, but not really. Not as much. The other 3 are more, they just make more sense for me. And so, Allie will put out the reading for those 3 energies on different days of the week. So it's still tied into how I'm feeling emotionally the day before. It's so fascinating. It's fascinating for me to like try to pick up on the patterns. So anyways, why did I show you that? I don't remember what I showed you. It was just that one of those moments of like, hey, I'm noticing this pattern. The other thing that I wanted to briefly talk about was while I was getting ready, I have post-its I mentioned on my my mirror. The mirrors, because I'm more than one. And oh no, thank you. Stop. No, thank you. And so part of me looking at my post-its is just to like, right, I'm retraining my brain, I'm paying attention to what I'm thinking about. So I have Johanna Hedva's little, quote there that where she talks about the Cree language, Native American Cree language, and I'm looking at it, and so I actually put an example on my post-it where, and for those of you that don't know, I had made a post about this particular piece in one of their essays, Sick Woman Theory, and how they were trying to understand or how they chose to understand sickness, and because of the different illnesses that they had. And so there's this element where it's blank has come to me versus I am blank. And so there's this element of just shifting, right? The verb and the noun or something like that. No. Anyways, it triggered in me a thought and a memory, a story. Let's start with the story first. So I took this writing course. It's not a writing, English course. It's an English course where I actually learned how to break down the structure of a sentence. And I needed like a higher level English course to graduate. So I was a senior for the 3rd time because it usually takes you 4 years. I graduated in 6 years. 4 years, senior. Yeah, I was a senior for the 3rd time. And so it was my last semester, and I remember taking this course and being so fascinated by it because I loved the idea of just breaking it apart, right? And then understanding how it got put together. I aced every single exam, every single paper. And so my professor pulled me aside and they said, have you ever thought about going into English as a major? I'm like, well, it's my senior year, I'm gonna graduate. And they said you would be really good at it. And there was this element of at least what they described in terms of what they did, a lot of humanities and understanding language from different cultures in different parts of the world. And that fascinated me because I knew I wanted to travel one day, and the idea of traveling just thrilled me, and just listening to how other people speak fascinates me. And so the idea to be, and I do it now when I watch foreign films, like I'm always trying to pick up on the pattern, like, okay, what's the word that they say more often, and could that word mean this, right? And me trying to guess before I actually know. And that's how I keep myself entertained. And so so I was thinking about that memory came up as I was looking at the statement that I wrote. And the example that I wrote with the Native American Cree language was, instead of saying, I am love, love has come to me. So I sat with those two statements, and I was like, okay, well, one is where you already embody love, right? And the other one is where love is coming to you, or has come. But then I'm like, one is the other, whereas one approaches or has approached the other. And so then I'm like, well, then what's in the middle? Right? It's the coming, right? But then, so here's the other thing. I was thinking about it in the terms of healing for my clients. And this element of, just reflecting on my healing process, and even like, I have a client, she's freaking amazing. She sent me a snippet of one of her writing, one of her pieces, and the first thing in my head was, you need to be a writer. Like, this is incredible. Like, this is so great. But how she described self-worth as part of that healing process, really. And it really is, it's this ability to love yourself, right? To not look at yourself as parts, or that there's certain things wrong with you, right? This element of, can you love yourself with every experience you've had, with every choice that you've made? Can you love yourself? But really mean it, right? Once you break apart all of these constructs that are holding you back, these rules, right, that we were given, right? The moment you're able to realize, I don't have to follow that rule anymore, and reclaim your power back. And so I kept thinking, that's when and this whole, storyline that I'm saying through this whole healing process for myself is, I am love. Like, I remember, like, I look at my painting, and that's what comes to me is like, I am love. Like, and that's who she is, right? She's looking for it, she's seeking it, and I have found it because it was within me the whole time, right? I just didn't know it. I didn't see it. There was these lenses, right, of rules and expectations blocking me from seeing myself, right? If I am love, and love has come to me. Because just because love approaches you doesn't mean that you accept it. Doesn't mean that you take it in. There's resistance, right? Or the art of allowing. Okay, come to me. But the way our healing, there's barriers between us allowing love to embody us, right? So just because, and the way I viewed it was myself as love, right? Approaching all of these individuals around me, and those who choose to take me in, right? And those who, in other words, those who choose to listen. And even thinking about, like, Jesus, right? In this element of, he is love, but it's always a choice, right? And the same thing, I'm sure, with other cultures, right? In terms of certain concepts, right? It's there, the knowledge is there, the words are there, but will you accept it, right? It's a choice. So I'm like, okay, if love has come to me, that's one part of that journey. And I am love is already at the end of the journey, where I've identified with it, I've owned it, right? It's a part of me. It is me. So then the middle part is this ongoing process of, I am embodying, I am becoming love. Love has come to me. It's there. I am becoming it until I am it. My phone seems to think so. That makes sense, right? Should write that one on a post-it. I like how that sounds. Love has come to me. Would it be I am becoming love? And then I am love. Love is me. Gotta play around with that. It's been a while since I took that course, so I could totally be wrong in terms of my grammatical, understanding of the words. So I'm playing with that in my mind as I get ready. I just want to record that because I'm just like, what's the middle? What's the middle? What's the middle? 8:28. Gotta get ready. All right. Bye. Hi. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience, and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.